are on. Welcome back to Sengoku Dynasty. We got episode 11 today. So as the thumbnail states, we're going to start off the episode by going over... Right, so this is kind of like our conclusion to just the multiplayer part. Borderlands 4 is coming out. Me and Walnut are going to do a series going through the game for that. So we're going to wrap this one up, and then I'm going to put out like a big series for Sengoku, probably starting in a couple weeks, where we kind of delve into everything a little deeper. Plus, we're going to bring Walnut back in occasionally for that, especially for some of like the combat stuff and whatnot. But that's kind of where we're going. So to start off this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some pros, some stuff that we really liked, and then we're going to get into some cons. But we're going to kind of do it like a compliment sandwich, right? Where when we go into the cons, we're going to talk about something that could be improved, we feel like, and then we're going to go over to like how they're already improving it, or we're going to have a suggestion for, like what they need to do, which, it's exactly why they put out games like this in the first place when they're in the early access. So hopefully, people can give them good suggestions, and Toplet seems like they're a pretty good company, the guys that make this. So, yeah, I guess let's get it started. So we're going to start with the pros, and we've got kind of a script going here, but so when talking about the pros and the cons, we're going to try to stick to just multiplayer stuff. Like, obviously, there's a lot more pros than this and some stuff that we feel could be fixed, but, we're going to make a separate big video once, like, the big series goes for that. So, again, we're going to kind of try to stick to more so multiplayer stuff. We're going to put in a couple odds and ends, but we'll kind of say when we do. So, multiplayer pros. The first one we have is that first, it was a really good idea for them to release the multiplayer right away. If you remember Medieval Dynasty, that actually, they released single player, and then multiplayer was after that. Oh God,
There is a bear right below us.
there's a bear eating two pigs. Doesn't care about that guy, luckily. All right, so we got to make sure we don't fall. We came up here so we could have a cool view while we were given this, and yeah, so there's that down there. So we feel like that was a good idea, so that way, they can get feedback on it earlier. And we've already seen that where they've already released 2 patches for consoles. And again, we'll talk about it later. One of the cons, obviously, is the stability, but the patches, they're already fixing it, right? So it was a good idea to release the multiplayer right away, so that way they could be on top of it. So the patches are already out, so that's awesome. That's another pro. And then let's get into a little bit more so the game specifics. So one of the things, and Walnut really liked this, was we can both use the Dynasty management at the same time. So if you remember in Medieval Dynasty, their other game that we've played, like if I'm in the management screen, like the other players can't get in there. It says it's already in use or whatever. And I don't think they've changed that yet. So that's a nice touch. When I'm doing stuff, it also lets, so if I'm assigning jobs or whatever, he can also be changing certain things within the management. So that's kind of a nice touch.
Right. If you're, for example, if Long's in there assigning people houses, for example, then I can also be in the jobs menu telling, like, okay, now that we have a new person, I want to assign them to the well so they're collecting water, or I can assign them to the mining site so that they're collecting stone, or, I can adjust the priorities. Well, as second player, you can't adjust the priorities.
Talk about that
But,
later.
Long could be adjusting priorities while I'm assigning people to their jobs, and it just allows for things to flow a little bit smoother, and it doesn't really lock you out of a menu, which that's a big thing for me. Is I don't necessarily like being locked out of a specific menu or a specific feature of the game just because either because I'm player 2 or because he's currently in it. Like, there may be something that I want to adjust while he's doing something else.
Right, so that's super nice, especially there's a lot of management in this game, and it's not the most efficient yet. I feel like they're going to make it a little better, but, like when you have multiple villages, if you get to that point, it'd be nice to have other people kind of playing that role as well. And then going along those lines, so the other players have access to build, because I believe in Medieval Dynasty, I had to like lay the framework, and then the other players could build. But in here, like if I'm doing something like say I'm out hunting, and he wants to put up say we unlock a new building or something, and he wants to put that up, he can just start doing that. So that's a nice touch. Going on, we really like the skill tree. A lot of stuff about the skill tree we like, just that there's more of it. But in a multiplayer sense, there's a skill, and I'll show you here, the way of the leader, right? It like affects everybody, so that's super cool. So you can kind of have like a skill tree dedicated to like the group, and then your craftsman, warrior, and monk. Obviously, you're doing that kind of on your own. So I think that's a nice touch. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it allows for if I want to build into heavy armor and heavy attacks and stuff like that, then I can build that way. You could build into quicker attacks, light armor, and however you want to build, while still giving us Way of the Leader, which allows us to kind of collectively decide like, oh, I think we should go for the loot chance, or we should go for the worker productivity,
Yep.
and it still allows you to build individually while also like having that collaboration.
Yep. Perfect. So yeah, so that was a really good one. I think they really did a good job in the skill tree, all around. And then getting into kind of our last main pro here, the storages. So obviously this kind of goes with like a single player game too, but storages being shared. So like, and I know Medieval Dynasty, they kind of do this too, but it's good that they ported it over to where, let's say you have 4 different players and like each of you wants to maintain your own village. Like let's say that's how you want to play. Like the storages are shared, so you can kind of all collaborate and kind of all pitch in, which is nice. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind if they gave you the option to turn off shared storages, so that way you
Yeah.
could do your own village. But that's a whole nother point. The main point we're making here is the storages are really good. The fact that you can share them, there's multiple villages that you need to basically make in this game, and then that there are different storages. So I really like the fact that there's not just like a general storage. There's also your beverage, your wood, your ice, your tools, your armory. I think that's a nice touch. It adds a little bit of a cosmetic value to the village. Plus, it's it just makes it a little bit easier to manage that storage. So I think that's a really nice touch. The fact that you put up production buildings and they already have those storages in there, so that way when your people are producing things, they can put it into that storage for you already. I think that's a nice touch. So I think they did a really good job on the storages.
Yeah, I like the idea of this shared storage because of, if you wanted to set up, so in this game you can have a max of 4 villages. So if you wanted to have a mining village, a woodcutting village, a production village, and like a farming village, then you could have those separate villages and really thematically design and decorate your village to match that production type.
Hmm.
And then since it's shared storage, you don't have to worry about like your mining village running out of wood or your farming village running out of copper.
Right.
You can provide to the other villages almost like you had trade routes or something.
Hmm.
And it still allows you to have a theme if you really wanted one.
Right. It's almost like in Medieval Dynasty. Remember when, like, on my big series, eventually I got to the part where I had a whole separate fishing village. Right. So being that everything was shared, they were pulling resources that allowed them to keep fishing, and then at the same time, all the stuff that they were bringing in, right, the salted fish, big thing in there. I was able to sell that at the market in my main town. Right. So that's kind of something that would be, shared here. So I like that a lot. All right. Anything other pros that you have anything on? Otherwise, we'll get into the cons, or just I shouldn't say cons, improvements, stuff that can be improved yet.
Yeah, I would definitely just call it improvements because I'm sure they will.
Right. Right.
And I mean, I'll say that it's obviously one of the cons we're going to bring up is stability, but the the fact that it's very smooth, like when we're in the village and stuff, it's very smooth to be able to play together. They
Mm.
don't have a lot of like roadblocks where it's like, oh well, because I am player 2, I can't do that, or
Hmm.
oh hey, can you go place this for me, or can you put this in storage so that I can access it? Like I can go do 99% of what you can do. Really, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is that priorities menu,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just go do it. So it's like you can go off and explore and do whatever you want, and I can go play around in the village and just do my own thing.
Yeah.
So they really did a good job of allowing you to play as a solo player in a multiplayer game.
Yes. So, all right. So let's get into some of those. So before we get into the improvements for the two players, there's a couple that I feel like we're going to touch on just because they are pretty important. So they're not necessarily two-player things. And again, we'll get into like a big video on this kind of down the road on like the whole game. But there's a couple that I want to touch on because I feel like they could be improved now and it would help out a lot. So before we get into the two-player improvements, some of the other ones that we have written down. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is farming. So we have a test going, and once we get back to the village, I'll show everybody the results of that test. But farming in this game is not done in real time like in Medieval Dynasty. It's basically like you assign somebody to a field and they produce a set amount. So like same thing when you assign somebody to like the log cutting, right? They say, all right, they're going to give you 33 logs a day. And no matter what motion or what they're doing in real time, you know you're getting 33 logs a day. So in Medieval Dynasty, the farming was in real time. So you could kind of see the progress. In this game, even though the fields look like crap, they are actually just producing a set amount per day. So it's fine that way, but I feel like the farming in Medieval Dynasty was way better. It was more enjoyable. And if it's not broke, why not stay with how it is already? So I don't know if they're planning on changing it or if this is the way they want this game to go. But either way, I think the farming could go to how Medieval Dynasty does it, and I think it would be better. But there's a couple other points along with that with the farming. So being able to make a giant plot does nothing for you because you can only assign one person to it. So that's kind of weird. I feel like they're going to change that. I feel like it's not intended to be that way. And obviously, the improvement that we would suggest there would be to either not be able to make those giant fields or to be able to assign more people to a field. And then the other thing with farming is, and this will bring us into our next point with the user interface, the management of it. In Medieval Dynasty, you can kind of see what's going on. In this one, you can't, right? And it's again because it's not in real time, so I guess you technically don't need to. But like if you're doing the farming yourself, for sure, that would be a nice thing. So that's kind of my bit on the farming. I liked it way better in the other game. This game, it's like I'll be able to do it and it'll get the job done, but it's just not going to be as fun or look as good to me. So, Brick, I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that or.
You know, you were always more of the farmer than me.
Right, that's kind of my
I'm
thing in
always,
these games. Yeah.
yeah, you're always the farmer, I'm always the miner.
Yeah.
And I will say mining was more enjoyable in Medieval Dynasty.
Hmm.
I think that's mostly just because of like exploring the mines felt more like I don't know, felt more like, oh man, I'm checking out this mine, I'm harvesting resources.
Hmm.
That's not what we're talking about. But farming wise, it doesn't feel overly enjoyable, and I think that's mostly because like I don't know, I don't get a huge amount of enjoyment from the farming anyway,
Hmm.
but setting up a giant field and then being like, dang, I can only utilize a quarter of it due
Yeah,
to the way it's currently working.
it's weird. Yeah.
Now I need to like tear it down so that it's a more usable size,
Yeah.
and like all I need to do is throw seed bags in and they're just going to do their thing. It could be a little more fleshed out, but it is functional.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I would put it. Like it works, but it could be better. So that'd be kind of our suggestion is to just improve upon it, make it more fun. However they're planning on doing it, is their thing, but that's kind of our 2 cents on it. And then so that'll bring us into our next thing, which again, not necessarily a two-player thing, but the user interface. So when we're talking about user interface, a couple things that we want to touch on just real quick. First of all is like the use of space. So like this is all good. Quest is good. When we get into the Dynasty tab, that's more where we see some stuff with this. So like for example, when I go into the population, And one of the things we're going to talk about is filters. There's not a lot of filters, like I have all these people and I kind of just got to like go down through them, right? So there's not a way I can filter it. And then on the right side of my screen, there's just an empty space. So I feel like they could just do, I know like it's not the best suggestion, but like do more with it. But, add a filter, use up the space that it gives you so that I have, especially on controller. I know on mouse and keyboard it's probably a little easier, but like, for console people, it's a little rough going through this. So some filters there, better use of space. Um, and then getting onto the map, the map's nice. But remember in Medieval Dynasty, there's filters, right? So and it's easy. It's just a click of a button, and I could turn off. Because like right now, if I look at my map, there's like animal things everywhere, so I can't really see what's going on in some parts because of all the like animal icons. Like it'd be nice to be able to turn that off. And again, maybe there's a way to do it. We haven't found that there is. So I feel like that's something that they're going to be bringing to the game, right? Because it is early access. So just giving it time to cook a little bit and making that better would be pretty nice. Um, and then kind of a user interface thing, but the priorities. So the other players they can manage everything, but they can't manage the priorities. So I have access to the priority tab, but Walnut does not. So maybe you know a setting change to where you have like permissions that you can give to people to just let them manage priorities might not be bad. And then going along the user interface of the priorities, so like meals. Let me and I think even in Medieval Dynasty you can't do this, and I've wanted it for a while, but let me reorganize the way they eat. So maybe I don't want eggs to be number one. Maybe I want fish meals to be number one, right? So maybe that's what they go to first. And then going along those lines, maybe if I don't get to reorganize them, if I could proportion it out, like, I got sirens. So maybe if like I put they're gonna eat 50% eggs and 50% fish meals. Like let me proportion it out so that way they don't just eat one of everything and then go on to the next thing. I know it's kind of a big ask, and that'd probably be a lot of change in the programming, but I think that would be pretty cool. And yeah,
Yeah,
those,
even if you could just reorganize the priorities, because in beverages, water is at the bottom, and water's obviously the first thing that you can really like uh, get automated. And so like you have to, if you want them to focus on water before they start drinking like the sake and everything, then you have to just turn everything else off,
right.
and they don't even have that as an option. So then if it came down to like, man, beverages is really lacking, but all they have is water, then they just have to lack.
Right.
Whereas if you could move water to the first, and then, oh man, they burnt through all the water because I just brought in 10 more people, then at least they could, move on to the next thing in the list.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that covers it pretty well. So some of the user interface stuff, and then we got into kind of like second player priorities, like right, we tied that into the multiplayer, just allowing permissions and whatnot. And then the last point that we kind of brought up, getting back materials from destroying items wouldn't be terrible. Like it is nice they let us move stuff, but like say we have a small house and we're going to upgrade it to a large house, right? So we take down that small house, like getting a couple materials back wouldn't be the worst thing. Again, not a game breaker, but we wanted to throw that point in. Okay, so now let's get into like the real hardcore multiplayer stuff that we had talked about, and there's just a couple points left. And first, let's hit on the progress. So the progress in this does seem to be a lot faster, and we understand that you can play at your own pace. But at the same time, if you have like enough money, you kind of can just unlock pretty much everything. Like there's regional things that you can't unlock, but like you can unlock all the storages and like a lot of the production buildings. So again, we understand you can play at your own pace, so you can kind of dictate that. But maybe an option in the settings to where you can turn that off and tie it almost like the classic version, right? Like remember in Medieval Dynasty where like obviously the tavern's a bad example because you need to like 8 million XP for that.
Yeah.
But if you have like a progress more so tied to your dynasty level, let's say, or XP gains, it almost makes it a little bit more worthwhile. It feels a little better to unlock some of the buildings. So it's I don't know. It's just something we kind of wanted to bring up, and it's kind of a weird point, like we don't want people to like don't just that our suggestion isn't just to change it because we want you to be able to play the way you want to play. So maybe having the option in settings to tie it either way, or again, like I said, just you can play at your own pace. So just maybe, but it's so hard, right? Like, all right, well, just play at your own pace, but don't unlock everything right away. Like segment it somehow. Is kind of a weird way to put it, but that was something we brought up. It does seem to progress really fast through. So,
Right, and
um,
after we played for a while co-op and kind of got the feel for the game, I started a single player game, and I moved rapidly through production. Well, production facilities are tied to your dynasty reputation, but then the storage facilities, all you got to do is get money. So, I mean, if you're selling fish or you're selling tools or
bamboo.
bamboo, making a ton of money,
Hmm.
then you're just like, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and unlock 3 of the storage facilities, get them thrown up because I've got 6 woodworkers that don't do anything, and just, you know, start moving through it. And it's like, yeah, I could slow down, but my, I don't know, gamer brain or
Right, right.
ADD brain, whatever it is, says you have it unlocked, you might as well build it. And, so it feels fast. I definitely
Yeah.
don't want it to be like the tavern in Medieval Dynasty
Right.
because that's a struggle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it
So,
it feels good. It's just kind of quick.
yep. So again, we don't want people yelling in the comments at us because we're not saying to completely change it. We're saying to maybe allow the option, right? Because we want, again, I just want to reiterate that, like, we want everyone to be able to play at their own pace, but having the option in there, for guys like Brick especially, like he's a very efficient and wants to do stuff, as efficiently as possible. So he's going to unlock a lot of stuff. Like he might go take a shovel and get the small iron nodes, and now he's already on iron, like a day into the game.
Uh-huh.
So putting the option in there, we feel like might not be the worst thing. So again, for people like me, it's not necessarily affecting me as much, but there's other people, like there's all sorts of types of gamers. So that was just something we thought of.
Yeah, Sanic gotta go fast.
Yep. And then let's bring into okay. So this is our last point, right? And we talked about this a lot in the last video, and that was why we had the drinking game. But the the stability on the two-player game is at a point right now where I feel like if you weren't really invested in the game and you were doing a multiplayer thing and you were like the second player, you might be like, I don't know if I'm going to keep playing because you are slightly limited in fighting and all of that because there's just a set amount of lag right now. And in Medieval Dynasty, that was much more limited. I think when I was the second player, the ducks flew kind of weird. Hunting was a little harder, but it was very very playable. And right now in the state the game's in, it's playable, but I feel like unless you're pretty dedicated and like really want to play the game, kind of like me and Walnut are, it might turn some people off on where it is currently. So that's one of the points that we just want to bring up because I feel like it's a big one. But at the same time, I also want to bring up that they've already released 2 patches and it has gotten better. So I don't want to beat a dead horse with it. I feel like they already know, and it's why you put out stuff in early access, so that way you can test these things. People like us can make videos on it, and then they can fix it. So I think they're already on their way to it. But it's just a point that we want to bring up because we feel like it can get a little better. I think it'll get there, but it might just take another patch or two. So
Right. Yes. As player 2, you run into just enough lag that whenever there's enough combat going on, you almost have to block more than you might want to. Because playing solo, if somebody's coming at me with a Naginata, I'm able to do the perfect parry like 9 times out of 10. Well, as player 2, I can do it like 1 out of 10 and it might be luck.
right,
So you have to block more than you might want to. Still playable, just a little rough. But like Long said, they've already put 2 patches out, so they clearly know that it's an issue. They're trying to fix it, and it's not like they're saying, well, we'll get to it after DLC 1.
Right.
They're like, no, we're going to get this fixed, and then we're going to move on.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think that about sums it up. Hopefully we covered the pros that people thought of, and again, if there's anything we're missing, throw it in the comments because you know, I don't think anybody from the company has watched any of my videos on this one, but like, you know, in Towers of Agaspa, I did some stuff like this, and the community manager was actually commenting on some of the videos and bringing it back to the developers. So who knows? Maybe this video will take off, and you might leave a really good comment that maybe we forgot, and they'll see it. So yeah, if there's anything you think we're forgetting in the pros or the improvements, you know, throw it in the comments. Hopefully we did a pretty decent job of covering it. And yeah, I guess it's kind of about all I got to say. Anything else, Brick, that you wanted to add before we kind of move on and get to the gameplay section of the video?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, like, we're not just crapping on the game. We're not talking smack. We're just pointing out things that we either really enjoy, and there's definitely things that we missed because we're thinking about it from a, you know, I don't want to necessarily say big picture, but we're thinking about it as from the whole game that we played so far. And there's definitely things that we've missed, good and bad, but we're not talking down on the game. The game has been great. We've been looking forward to this game for
Right.
a very
Yeah, it's
long
been
time.
super fun. I'm definitely, and we're gonna make a big old series on it, and yeah, that's a really good point. And I think, yeah, just to reiterate on his point, hopefully people take this away as like this is early access, and I think this is what developers want. They want people to like say, "Oh, this is really good," and then we talked about the stuff that we think could be improved, but hopefully we put in some bullet points in there to just say like either how it can be improved or how they're already working on it. So yeah, we're by no means saying that anything's bad. We're just bringing up some points that we think will help and yeah, make the
Yeah,
game
and
better for everybody.
it's not even in a state where I
Cool
would
looking.
say wait until, you know, a couple more stability patches before you jump in multiplayer. Like it's definitely playable. Like,
Yeah, that's a
you know,
good
you
point.
may the big combats you may have a little bit of struggle with, but like it's I mean, it's absolutely I think it was like $30.
Hmm.
So it's completely worth $30 and you jump in, you have some fun even whether you know you do the combat and you focus on that or you focus on building a village. And I can't wait to see some of the communities, like if Zelda gets this game and starts doing
Right.
a giant village. Like
Yeah, there's
she started over in
so many
Palia after
cool
we
like
did and she already
building
blew
things.
us out of the water.
Right. Yeah, she's a whiz when it comes to making stuff look good.
I think she cheats.
Yeah, probably. Uh, she's probably just watching, like shaking her head, like deciding how she's gonna get us back. But yeah, all right. Well, I think that covers that pretty good. Again, let us know your comments. I'm pretty happy with that. I think it went okay. Probably about half the video. Yeah, about half the video went to that. So here's what we're planning for the rest of the video. We're going to fast travel back. I believe we'll probably sleep for the night because it's getting dark. And we're going to roll over the next season. So the last half hour or so here is we're just going to roll over into winter, see what winter's like. We're gonna look at the farm thing. Brick's gonna talk about a kiln thing, and yeah. So if you just tuned in for the podcast like pros and improvements section of the video, that part's over, and now we're gonna go play a little bit.
Yeah, like the video.
All right. Yep. Whoop. All right. I'm just doing some parkour that I'm not trying to do, but I can't get down. There we go.
Just too good at it.
Right. All right. So this should all be set. So that should roll over for us. All right, let's head on back. Ooh, there's a good one you can put in that we forgot. Every time, and I know it's a button mapping thing, but every time you try to like interact with somebody to trade or fast travel, you like duck or down or stand back up.
Yeah.
Tiny fixes, tiny fixes. Again, probably could remap it and fix it yourself, but all right. Oh God, where am I? I'm stuck. All right, you want to sleep for the night, and then we'll.
Let's take a nice little nap
That way
with
people can
your
see.
blowfish.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at this little guy. It's a good thing Lily's not here, my daughter, because we really like these guys. The little puffer fish things are some of our like favorites. So seeing a dry dead one there would probably make her a little sad.
He's a pet and his name is Jeffrey.
Right. Yeah, I put a little alarm clock up here for Walnut. I can't remember if I did that on camera or not, but I wish I could gong it too. That'd be awesome.
Ding.
Right. So yeah, so here's one of the farming things, right? So our field looks nice, right? And then you look at like the other guy's fields, and like hers is growing. Like I feel like they grow it and cut it down, but it's it's not like in real time. So like when you look at the management here, like if we go to jobs, like we look at her job, right? So this is the management for farming. So you tell her to do this field, so she's doing the field, and no matter how it looks, the daily production there on the right side, that's what you get every day. So if we go into our storage, if you remember on the last episode, I think we had like 900 some hemp in there, and I was like, all right, well let's do the farming test, because if that's correct and it's just a daily thing instead of like a live, like visual, then they should have 1700, right? Which they did. And then we went through another day, so that was another 700-ish. So that's why they're up to like 2400 hemp. So again, it works and it's fine, and you can use it this way. And if farming's not your thing, you might actually like this more. So, but yeah, that's how the farming works. So it's a lot like the other jobs. So like if I go to my no tool, so we gotta get some tools and stuff in there. We'll worry about that later. But yeah, if we go to the forager, right, like daily production, same thing with the log people, the miners, right? It's just a daily production. As long as you give them tools, they'll keep working for you. So yeah, so that's how the farming goes. That's the test we wanted to show. So it works, but I just wish it looked a little prettier and it was a little more fun for people like me. All right, now here's a good little tip. So Walnut is going to show us. Remember when we put up. So we put this up and we're like, man, where are we going to put a kiln? Because charcoal is awesome. Like charcoal is really good for heating your stuff. So we put a kiln here. But Walnut's going to show us that if you got your hammer out and then you go to village structures, production and storage structures, there's actually a kiln right here. And if you use this kiln, like he's going to show you right now, you can just put it anywhere. So like if you want to put like your kiln next to your place, right? Yeah, like that's probably where I would put it. I would just like put it off to the side. But you don't have to put this in your building. Oh, I don't have any clay.
Oh, that shows right there, like, we struggled to find a way to fit it in the smithy, so we started moving the anvil around, and we're like, oh, it fits here, it kind of looks like crap.
Right.
Yeah, and then it turns out you can just go into the village structures and put it wherever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a little clay. But yeah, that's a nice little thing, because so charcoal gives you more heating, right? You can, here, I'll show everybody. Right, like if we go into our priorities and we go to heating, right? Charcoal, I can just turn charcoal on and they'll use charcoal, and we'll show you. What was it? Is it a 1-to-2 ratio, I think you said?
So one firewood makes 2 charcoal, but 1 firewood gives you, I believe it was 5 heating, but 1 charcoal gives you 12 heating. So for the cost of 1 firewood, you get 24 heating.
Yeah.
So it's just infinitely better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you've already got your woodcutters making a little bit of firewood, especially if you assign somebody to the kiln and you manage their work capacity out to where it's like you're producing 100 firewood and then they're turning 100 firewood into 200 charcoal, then like you're going to break even on that, but you're going to more than double your heating capacity. And
right.
it takes care of your heating needs very quickly until you want to go with oil, and you can either get that from canola or fish.
Yeah, so this is
But
crazy
you
easy.
know,
Like you can see it's using one firewood at a time, and it's bringing out 2 charcoal. So I mean, this is even something to probably when I have my village going. I'm probably just gonna put one of these up, and I'm just gonna do it myself. Just throw some firewood in there and just retrieve the charcoal at the end of the day or whatever it is. But it goes
so and
pretty quick too.
that's one of the things that's nice is like the kiln or when you're making like sake or something, even the well when you throw buckets in there,
Hmm.
they'll collect their daily allotment, and this stuff that you throw in there is just on top of it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
if you assign somebody to it, they'll do their daily allotment of charcoal that they produce, and then you could come over here and throw 25
Hmm.
firewood in there
Yeah.
just to add to it.
Just to keep it, yeah, going even more.
Yeah, and then the well, I think they make like
Oh.
125-ish a day of water, and then you could throw buckets in there to collect an additional 500.
Yeah.
Just as like, oh, I'm running by, throw some buckets in there, move on.
Right. Looks like our people need some bows. I'm gonna crank out a few of them. Might be arrows too. I might make some arrows.
So the land field needs more hemp seeds.
Yeah.
So I
They
can
need
make up
a
some
they
hemp
need a
seed bags,
hemp seed bag.
or
Yeah.
do you want to change it to a different field?
I think it's fine for right now. We're gonna go over to winter here in a second, anyways.
Right. I'll check to see what they can plant in. Actually, I don't think they can plant anything in the winter, so it really
Right?
won't matter.
Yeah, we might have to we'll have to play around with that. See how winter is.
Yeah, I don't believe they can plant anything in the winter, so it might be worth moving the farmers to like harvest huts or something like
Right.
that. Move them to
Yeah,
the
I'm
well.
curious. I hope there's something in the winter because I know when I do my village, I'm gonna have like probably what I'm gonna do for farming is I'm gonna have one small field for everything, and I'm just gonna have a farmer
Oh,
there, and then just that way I can just leave it because I hate going into management every season and changing a bunch of people around.
I do kind of wish you could have the farmers take care of multiple fields. That
Right.
way, like, once it's growing, like, what are they, and this would be more of a, if it was real time growing versus just what they collect in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but, like, once the soybeans are growing, then they're not doing anything, so have them work on another field. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a lot of programming issues, and
Right. Well, it's how they do
that's
it in Medieval
beyond me.
Dynasty. Because if you so you assign farmers to basically do the farming work, and they come out of the farm shed, and they will go to the closest farming area they can farm. So like when I had my big giant farm set up, I think I had 4 farmers there at the end. So they would do the field that, in management was like next to do, and they would do all of it. And then say there was a field kind of in the corner that they didn't get to yet, like all 4 of them would go over there and work on it.
That's a good point.
Which is, yeah, I like it. I like it a
Yeah,
lot more.
that'd be great because another thing this game does great. There are a ton of farming options. Like
Mm-hmm.
there are 4
Just bronze.
wetland farms that you can do,
Right.
and then I'm not going to bother counting it, but I think it's somewhere in the realm of 12 dry
Yeah.
fields. So, if they've got 16 roughly fields that they can do, that means if you want to do one of each, which given there are seasonal changes, some things can't be planted in the summer and that kind of thing,
Yep.
but you need probably 8 farmers.
Right.
I mean, that's 8 villagers that you have to take up just with farming.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of nice if you could just like throw some fields out there, supply them with what they need, and then they'll just take care of it. And then you
Yeah.
could have like 3 or 4.
Yep. Ah! Start myself on fire. We must be out of tin, I'm guessing. It wasn't arrows. We got like 300 arrows in here, so I was selling some arrows. They needed bows.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Let's
and then
see.
that last tool requirement, that's the farmer needing a seed bag.
Yeah. Let's see. Can make a bunch of ropes. Holy crap, we can make a ton of ropes. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do the farming yet in this. We'll have to kind of see it. The other big thing is, other than a couple of the things, you don't really need to grow much, especially early on. I feel like it's kind of like in Medieval Dynasty, right? Like early on, you need wheat, oats and what's the other one? One of the other ones to make like animal feed and stuff.
Yep.
But then you can start making flour and animal feed, and it's like you're good to go, right? Like that's like your year one farming goals. But in here, like hemp and flax for sure, because you want like linen and rope and stuff.
I like soybeans for a good source
One
of
of your
beans.
meals, yeah.
Yep, and then canola because it can be a, I believe it's a bean source and a an oil source once you have the kitchen.
Hmm.
And then rice, obviously rice because it's used for cooked rice, sake, a bunch of
Yep.
food recipes.
Yeah.
So I
So
usually try to
that's
have rice going all the time, but soybeans is only in the spring. So if you can get that started very early on in your first season,
yeah.
then it allows you to get a good supply of beans to start
All
off.
right.
And then
Yeah,
of course
it's
fish.
interesting, right? Yep. Bring the fish in for the food for sure.
Biggest thing they need to add to this game is apiaries. I need my honey.
Oh yeah, get that honey flow in for sure.
Oh yeah.
Put some of that in there. Oh, I do have a hemp seed bag on me. I'll put that. They can have that. All right. Well, I'd say we got about 15 more minutes. Do you want to roll into the next season and we'll see what winter's like to kind of finish off the episode?
Let's do it.
So, change season. Accept. All right.
Looks like I had to also accept.
Nice. That's good. They just don't let like one person do it.
Right. Force you into the next season.
So we should get, oh yeah, cutscene. So it looks like they use the same like watchtower cutscene for multiple watchtowers.
Yep. Yeah, because that's
Still
that
cool.
watchtower going up.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say that cutscene from that one watchtower from the story where it spans
Oh
across
yeah, that's super
the
cool.
that was super cool.
Oh, look at the
Oh,
winter.
this looks awesome.
All right, so now if we look at the map, oop, let's see. Uh, hmm. You know, it's interesting. So we have a watchtower up. Are we missing something from this region?
Um, it doesn't say it on my thing, but it also doesn't say it's liberated.
Yeah. That is interesting. Hmm.
Hmm.
Right, because if we go to that one, liberation conditions, construct Central Plains small bridge. Liberation benefits. Huh.
I wonder if it's kind of a little bug, and like if you went back to the main menu and came back in, it would fix it.
Right, yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, we could do a cut and come back, but I am
Might be
not,
worth it just to find out.
right, I'm not too sure. All right, well, let's do that, and then we'll, so for the last 15 minutes or so, we'll kind of play around in winter here, see if there's any, like, big changes that we kind of notice, but, yeah, well, let's do a cut real quick, we'll come back, and we'll see if that kind of fixes her up. All right, and we're back. I'm inside because we got to figure out how to survive in the winter because you actually get really cold when you go outside. I have no idea. It didn't update it. We're just gonna have to leave that as is, and I'm sure there's maybe we got to clear out a couple guys or something that we missed, but we won't worry about it too much. What we're gonna focus on the last 15 minutes is how do we stay warm in the winter. So I'm
I
gonna
drew
run over
something in
here.
the snow for you.
Oh, did you? Uh-oh.
Yep.
I probably can't look or it'll, well, not that I get monetized, but there are there are there are
It's a pair of
footprints.
scissors.
It's a nice pair of scissors you got over there. Oh man. All right, so let's see. It's not that. What would it be under? I don't think there's really like a A warmth
I
option?
think there's winter boots.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Outfit.
Fukagutsu shoes.
Some shoesies. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Often ceremonial stuff. Um. Hmm. Well, I mean, we can try it.
That's the only thing I see that specifically calls out like winter.
All right. I'm gonna make a pair. So let's see. Armor, poison cumbrance. Yeah, it doesn't have like a winter straw boots. Like we don't have a setting for how do my boots look. You might have to make a little straw. Oh, boots look all right.
Yeah, somebody decides like, oh, I'm more important. I'm just gonna use all this straw. I'm a big fancy YouTuber and stuff.
Right. I feel like that's made me a little warmer, I guess. Let's see. What else would there be? We got the cloak already. I feel like there's like a shawl or something you would think to.
There is the warming drink. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's like,
That'd be annoying if we always had to be
anything.
drinking stuff.
That's true.
Worn by monks, ceremonies, warrior monk clothes.
God, I keep
Elite
forgetting where the kitchen
clothes.
is.
Can't be any of those.
I
We got the
wonder how big of a difference
footwear.
there is between wearing armor and having like the elite clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, spend some money and buy them if you wanna.
I can't. I'm poor.
You know, you can go make a bunch of like arrows or something and sell them. You know what's interesting is we got a farming trader here now.
Yeah, you.
I only have
When I started
one.
my village, I got all four of them.
Yeah,
That
so
was
we were
kind of
playing
amazing.
off camera on his village, and yeah, he put these up like pretty early, and four traders. I only have one again.
Then the next season, 3 traders.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I can't get any villagers, so
Right.
it definitely evens out.
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, that's not gonna keep you warm.
I don't see like a warmth meter.
Right. Which
I'm gonna
is.
take all my clothes off, like normal.
Yeah. See what happens. Maybe it's.
Oh yeah, take your clothes off and you get a little like frost meter in the
Hmm.
bottom.
Oh.
Other than
Hmm.
I'm definitely rocking a thong.
Oh yeah.
I got
Oh,
butt
very
cheeks
nice.
out right now.
Very nice. I'm not cold yet.
I got the frost effect on the side of my screen, but like
I gotta take my cloak off.
I'm gonna take like my helmet
Oh,
off
there we
and
go.
stuff
You
too.
are freezing. Also, I wonder if it's just a. Oh no, my health is going. Is my health going down? Yeah, I think my health's going down. Oh yeah, health's going down. So I'm at 47 of 50. Just kind of run around here. Maybe go take a dip in the water.
Oh, risky.
Yep, 45 of 50. So then if I put on my armor doesn't do it. If I put on my cloak with my armor, nice.
I'm looking stylish.
You're looking, you're looking like you're gonna die in about 3 seconds.
It's like me in real life, except I will say I'm slightly bigger than this guy.
Right. These little skinny
I
guys.
am taking health damage.
Yeah, I'd say my health was going down. Let's see, armor. You know, with the winter boots to the bronze Ashigari shoes, you really don't lose too much armor, and if they keep you a little warmer, I guess that's pretty solid. I'm gonna go jump in the water and see what happens.
Well, gotta strip first.
Skinny dipping.
Keep the mask on. I don't want anybody to see my face.
Yep. Oh yeah, instantly taking damage in the water. Even okay, I don't have my winter boots on. Yeah, even with the winter boots, the water is not your friend in the winter.
You gotta really dip it in there.
Jeez. How long before
It's
you die?
cold. I'd say I got 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Which is more than me in real life. I'm weak
Right,
when it
you'd
comes to
be
the cold.
you'd be toast, just sitting in the frozen freezing water. It wouldn't
I
be
could be
frozen
armor
water.
on and
That
I'd
would
be
be ice.
freezing.
Yeah, I had all my stuff on and I was still freezing. So I wonder, yeah, I wonder if there's something that maybe it's something they're gonna add to it. I know it's more of a big deal in Medieval Dynasty.
Yes.
But
And heat in Medieval Dynasty as well.
right, yeah, I wonder what the maintenance is like. Meals, heatings. Man, I should have looked. I can't remember what it was before.
Yeah, that's a good point. It would make sense for heating to go up.
Right, because yeah, like in
I
Medieval
would say
Dynasty during
meals as
this,
well.
yeah, during the summer you don't use as much firewood. During the winter you use way more.
Yeah, and like heating in
Um,
or meals in the winter because you try to eat to maintain body fat and that type of
right.
thing. And then in the summer you want more water and
Let me see here. Do we have any warming drinks? I don't think so. Or are they in somewhere else?
beverage storage.
Oh yeah, I'm in food. Nah, stupid. Idiot.
You
Um,
don't eat liquids,
right.
jeez.
Let's see. Help stay warm in the cold. I'm gonna grab one of these, or two of them. Just doing some winter testing out here. So if I take all my stuff off, I am now freezing. I'm gonna drink one of these. Drink. I am, yep, still freezing. So you definitely still gotta wear some clothes, that's for sure. Let's
As the
see.
smart man I am, I will try a cooling drink in the
Ooh.
winter.
See how fast your health can go down?
Yeah, that's ideal.
I'm gonna test it out if I drink a warming drink in the water. All right, so I'm freezing. Drink. Still freezing. Hmm.
It's possible I'm mistaken, but I think I actually just like straight up took damage from drinking the cooling drink.
Yeah. Nice. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, you are just still naked.
You know, time to time to dip the cheeks.
Jesus. I like that they have like little snow things. That's nice. Do
But
you want to run? Let's see. How much time do we got? Should we finish up by? Do you want to run to the lake and
yeah,
see if we can
let's show people the ice.
see some ice? I'm gonna put a little marker on it here.
Is there a good fast
Um,
travel for that one?
let's see.
Segi.
Yeah, we can go to Segi. Just check out the ice real quick, see what it looks like, and then we'll kind of come back here and wrap her up. All
Yeah,
right.
I like that there's certain things that you can and cannot get in the certain seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Really
I'll
makes you
definitely.
plan things out.
All right, I'll definitely have to test out, see if like there's any. Oh God, any any farming stuff you can do in the winter.
I know there's, I believe, one kind of mushroom you can get from the gathering hut
Okay.
in the winter. So it's nice that you can get mushrooms in all seasons.
Right.
Is this that big deserter camp?
Yeah. It'll be off
Oof.
to our right. Oh, I heard some.
I heard a woof.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, he's chasing you.
Oh, really? Come through the water, buddy. Oh, God, I'm freezing. Nope, nope, let me out. Oh, yeah, there he is. A little puppy.
There's a shrine over here.
Thought you were gonna get me, huh? Oh, you don't want to cross that water, huh, buddy? What's up? Get blasted.
Good luck,
Ah,
have fun.
got him.
Oh, well, this is interesting. If you come to where I am, you can see where the frozen lake stops.
Ah, come on. Oh.
It's just like a hard stop.
Right. Nice.
And there's a shrine here. I wonder if it's one that you have to rebuild or. Nope, you need sake
Ah,
to make an offering.
nice. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so is it these? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Bronze pickaxe. I think I have a bronze pickaxe on me. Just so happens to do. Let's see how this works. Then you can store your ice. I don't really know what storing ice does, but
So if you have the ice storage, then it is supposed to stop the ice or slow down the melting of the ice that you have in storage.
Okay.
And you need that to make sake and some stuff like that.
So you kind of want to get a bunch of ice during the winter, put it in your ice storage, and then you
Yep,
have it throughout
stock
the
up.
year. Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's probably like the way they used to have to do it.
Right, and there's an exotic goods merchant in, I believe it's Iwasaki, that will sell some ice each season.
Probably
It's
cost a buttload of money.
it's a little expensive.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like 30 a piece or something.
Okay. I mean, just this little pile here got me 50. You know, the probably 4 or 5 nodes I mined. And it looks like
Right.
there's a lot, so...
Yeah, I'm sure if you cleared out this lake, you'd have more than enough to last you the year.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then, of course, sake is the best beverage for your villagers. It just also is the most resource intensive.
Yeah. We got some peoples. All right, let's head back, I guess, and we'll wrap her up here. Nope, stab it. There we go. Oh, it's snowing. Head back to.
Oh, the snow looks great.
Right. Yeah, the engine they use for these games, like in Medieval Dynasty especially, where it's a little more polished, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I really appreciate this like snowstorm. I don't know if it like mechanically does anything, but it visually it looks great, especially
nice,
running through those like snow-covered trees and stuff.
Oh, there's a dog.
What was that? Holy crap! I think it was a boar, but scared
the boar? Yeah.
crap out of me.
There's a
Sounded
doggy.
like a boar and a deer getting hit by a train.
Oh, he's eating my will to live. Okay.
I shot at it. I don't know if I hit it, but I shot at it.
Yeah, bows are definitely the way to go when you're fighting wolves. Holy crap.
Yeah. And then bear, it's like, I don't know, a tank or something.
Bear, just just run. All right. Well, let's head her back and finish her up here. We got a bunch of traders. Okie dokie. Give it. Okay.
Nothing like taking the hardest way out.
All right. Well, that'll finish it up for today. So, last episode on the duo series here, but we got one coming up. So we're gonna test out Walnut's ability to do an outro. So he's gonna do a little bit of something, and then I'll send us off here.
You know, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the co-op series. Let us know if you want to see some more of that, and if there's any specific games you want to see us do, put that in the comments below, and I will see you in Borderlands.
Nice. Pretty well done. Pretty well done. I feel like the outro too, like I remember when I did my very first video, kind of had an idea of what I was going to do for an intro and outro, and it kind of just develops. You kind of just like eventually start saying something over and over again, and you're like, all right, well, I guess that's going to be it. So, yes. So, good job. Check out the link for the Discord in the description. A lot of fun stuff going on over there. Otherwise, with all of that being said, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. Go out there and be a good person. It's not that hard, and we will see you on the next one.